vlogs. I said there were going to be more vlogs, and I'm really going to just try to dive right into it again and make more vlogs because I want to share the experience with you guys. I want to share the triumphs and the failures, and when I thought something was going to work and it didn't work out. I want to share my thoughts of trying to figure out what to do with life and how to do it with you, because who knows, maybe it will help somebody out there, and maybe the rambling part of it will help me. So we're back. I haven't been putting vlogs up in so long because I have just had my nose to the grindstone, mercilessly working away at the perfect schedule over on the main channel, and I never even managed to catch up with that perfect schedule in the first place because it was so much stuff that it just wore me out, and I forgot to remind myself that I'm just human and there's only so many things I can do, and I just didn't treat myself like I would have ever expected anybody else to treat themselves. That's the danger of being a perfectionist who really likes to over-organize, just so you know. But yeah, we're back, and I thought I would just share the ride of my life with all of you because, like I said, I hope maybe my rambling, I know, and that's really surreal, I know my rambling seems to really help a lot of you. And forgive me if I say that's confusing, because it is, but I get it, because I mention it all the time. I love watching vlogs, I love watching blogs, reading blogs, watching vlogs, because it gives me insight. I actually am a Dear Abby, Dear Prudence, more Dear Prudence, especially with the new Prudence Mallory. I'm kind of an addict to those kinds of things because they're peeks into other people's lives and problems, and you can kind of get little ideas of how to address things in your own life from that. And I feel like vlogs and blogs provide the same sort of thing, a frame of reference to sort of hold your life up against and go, hey, are they doing something that's kind of monkey see, monkey do? I'm going to try in my life too. How that rhymed? That wasn't meant to rhyme. And so we're here because I'm not going to be making vlogs to really try to rope in a lot of people or over things that I think would be super popular. Just to let you guys know ahead of time, not in a like false humility way to say that, just like I'm mostly going to be rambling, and I've got like new tea to try out, and I'm just going to tell you guys my thoughts on like the meaning of life. That's a lighthearted subject right there. and just sharing my walks with you and sharing how new opportunities and challenges present themselves in my life and what I do with them, which means I get to have the interesting experience of sharing when I really, really mess up and let people down, and also the great experience of when huge achievements are reached or really awesome, playful, new experiences are done. But I really find myself on the days when I watch some vlogs from people and see them trying new things, becoming more eager to try new things in my own life. So I hope, if nothing else, my rambling may help some of you guys find some deeper insight, or just the fact I tried a new tea may encourage you guys to try a new tea yourself. Who knows? It could be simple little things. Maybe it's something really big. And yeah, with that little sort of pre-note, what am I going to call it? Preface, I guess? Then I'll just dive right into it. It's been... Do you mind? All my boys are singing. They're doing like, what do you call it when three people are singing? Like, I don't know, a whole chorus? A whole chorus of birds is singing right now because the boys have finished up their molting, so they're trying to impress the girls. So you may hear them in the background, but we'll have some more birdseed diaries so you guys can figure out like their names and everything. But yeah, just jumping right into it, it's been a pretty interesting day because for the last few days I've felt really bogged down. You guys, a lot of you guys who come over to the vlog channel have noticed that on the main channel, despite my best efforts of just feeling sort of bogged down, like I'm not really getting anywhere even though I'm still churning out as many videos as I possibly can. Like I'm sort of losing control of this massive tsunami of energy that I try to like have riding on the main channel all the time. And today I was sitting there and I've been hitting like these creative walls where I have the time. I'm like, okay, I did all the chores for the day that I need to do. I did grocery shopping, which by the way, I figured out how to make the most amazing vegan tofurkey sandwich ever. I will be sharing it with you guys maybe tomorrow because I am so happy it's delicious. And it has things I thought I would never enjoy in it. It's got tofurkey for one thing, which I always thought was horrendous. It's also got toasted coconut, which I didn't think I would like, and it's got avocado, which I don't like, all in one, and it's delicious. So I'll share that mystery sandwich with you guys tomorrow if I remember. But yeah, on the note of just feeling bogged down, today I had some free time. It wasn't free time. It was time I was supposed to be using to complete things. And I couldn't make myself move. I just sat there and stared out the window at my desk, sort of like a deer in headlights, going, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Like, all the creativity, all of that energy just felt like there was this huge blockade, and I couldn't understand what was going on. And I tried like looking over next month's schedule in November. I tried cleaning my room a little bit. I tried like looking over some of the really positive, nice comments, and something was missing. It was like the spark to ignite the creative energy was just gone. And I realized that there's something wrong. There's something wrong. So what I did is I looked out the window, noticed that the sun was setting, and I went, you know what? I should go on a walk. And I put on my shoes and I went on a walk. And when I go on a walk around my neighborhood, I like to listen to podcasts. And so tonight I just randomly flipped through the podcasts that I had signed up for, many of which, in fact, like 98% of which I haven't even listened to yet. And it was called the Primal Happiness podcast. And I don't think I've ever listened to any of their stuff before, but they do things called Happy Hour, where they talk to different experts throughout the world, different practitioners of different varieties of what could make somebody happy in relationships, or like physically happy by like all of the chemicals that go through your body. But tonight I listened to one of their podcasts, just the first half of it so far, that was called Why Play is One of the Most Powerful Forces on Earth. And they were interviewing Floris Koot, a play engineer is how he describes himself, among many other things. And I've heard a lot of things about the psychology of happiness and the psychology of creativity, and a little bit about this emerging, at least in my circles of things that I notice, this emerging idea of the psychology of play in a lifelong manner, not just for kids. I've heard it a lot for kids and how important it is for children, but it's really fascinating to see the psychology of play for adults. Or everybody really, because that's what Floris is talking about. And he was talking about how important play is, because play is really what life is about. And I don't mean like kind of like this free-willing, irresponsible sense of not really ever focusing on anything or doing anything seriously. What he was talking about is the fact that play is really getting up and playing and falling down, and getting up and trying something new and falling down and doing it again and again and again. Like when you play tag, you learn how to dodge people faster, you learn how to work with people. Or when you play like fencing with sticks, you smack each other's hands and someone is always going to cry, but you try again next time, because the feeling of pretending to be a knight, as he mentioned in the podcast, I'm almost quoting that part, is so exciting. And then he mentioned just how play makes a better life. Having a playful spirit, having a healthy, playful self makes a better life, was his argument. Because if you're willing to smile more, if you're willing to tell jokes more, you don't have to be a comedian, but just not being so socially rigid is what he described it as, then you will have a better life. And I thought about that on my walk, and he said many more very insightful things. So I highly recommend checking out the podcast. If I remember, I'll try to link it in the video description or like add a comment. But he said a lot of really insightful things about play as a lifelong feature of creating a better life. And as I was walking, it hit me that that's kind of the core that has been missing for me in my work and what I do on the main channel. We started Siri Pixel Biologist back when it was Siri Sims. Do you guys remember when it was just Siri Sims? It wasn't Siri Pixel Biologist. That came when I was maybe around like, I don't know, 7,000, 14,000 subscribers. But it used to be just Siri Sims. And it was Siri, exclamation point, let's play, exclamation point. And I've kind of forgotten the play part of that. And I think that's because when you become a bigger YouTuber, ooh, quotes everywhere. When you become a bigger YouTuber, you're supposed to be professional. And there is a huge part of you that wants to treat this amazingly unique and precious and what feels to be fragile but is actually pretty hardy opportunity as something professional. When you get this idea of like, oh, I gotta be serious about it, haha, puns intended, I guess, but you get this feeling of this is your YouTube opportunity. It's a fragile little crystal globe. Don't shatter it, don't break it. Work really hard at it, polish it, protect it professionally. And the thing is, that's not how we got here. We got here because I was just willing to jump into a game and go on an adventure and have fun. And because I was willing to go in and have fun, I didn't care about the views. I didn't care about what people said. I didn't care about the hate. I didn't care if it was professional. I just had fun. And I'm not trying to disparage whatsoever the people who do it differently. The people who have everything like plot written out and they've got everything really tightly camera angled and edited and everything like that. There's definitely a place for that too. But what my home and my heart and my channel has grown from is a spirit of play. And I really kind of forgot that. And so it's been very frustrating for me the last few months, ever since we moved, when I really made the vow to become more professional. Because I couldn't understand why I'm being more professional and having the schedule and it's so like locked in, and I've carefully like given different series different designations. They're tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, depending on how popular they are, depending on how often they update, depending on how often I should update them. And I had all of that laid out, and I was doing what everybody asked for. People want more Wolf Quest. Okay, I'll do more Wolf Quest. People want more Animal Jam. Okay, I got more Animal Jam. People want more of this. Okay, I'm making more of that, and I'll find a spot to put it on the schedule. And I lost the sense of having a good time with it. But that's not to say that you have to have fun. I think it would be ideal in a really great world if you could really make the most of an opportunity. You should be having fun. You should make it so you can have fun. If whatever you have as your opportunity, whatever you're doing, has the capability to withstand you being able to have fun at it, then you should have fun at it. I had fun at some of my old jobs too, not just this one where I'm literally playing games, but my old jobs, working at the pet store, I made it fun. Becoming a nanny, I made it fun because it made it so I could endure the job in a way that made my spirit feel better. And now, last few months, I've tried to be so professional and cherish and hold the sacred little YouTube crystal orb thing that might shatter at any second, because you just never know what's going to happen with that kind of market. And you're supposed to be professional as you get bigger, that I stopped having fun, even though I was doing the same games that normally would bring me a big sense of joy. I started getting really sensitive and nervous and scared about the comments, especially like, take for instance No Man's Sky, or take for instance, what's something else, like Niche. Oh my gosh. Niche almost died for me because people would be so critical about the moves I made. Whereas I would go in and I would try to play the game just to have a good time and have fun. People would explain why everything I did was wrong in intense detail, like categorizing a list of how I should have done X move as though it was a chess game when it's not a chess game. It's, for me, a game to have fun in. And then No Man's Sky, I was having fun, but people didn't want to see me having fun. They wanted to like criticize the game, and I let that get to me. And then I started like forcing my way through things that weren't fun for me anymore, and I couldn't even make fun, like Wolf Quest, and just forcing myself into it because that's what I do as a professional. It's on the schedule, it's on the list, it's what people want to see, it's where the views are. I should do it like that because I want to be good at what I do. And what's really tragic is that all of that comes from a place of wanting to provide happiness to the people in our community. It doesn't come from a place of wanting to see a trajectory of growth or a trajectory of revenue or a trajectory of like getting that silver button on my wall. That's not where it comes from. It comes from a place of wanting to share a sense of awe and joy and authentic happiness and creativity with other people. And I loved listening to this podcast tonight because that's when it all clicked in my head. Oh, I'm not just having fun with it anymore. I've been keeping my ear to the ground and listening to comments that say like, oh, you need to complete X number of exhibits in zoo crafting within Y time. I've been listening to things in the comments in Warrior Cats that say, oh, you need to make it more dramatic and kill off more cats, even if that's not where my spirit and heart want to go with that series. I've been listening to things that tell me to make more faster or do more per episode. And I've been trying to hit these bullet points when I record to try from an authentic place of just trying to see if I can make things more enjoyable for everyone. And the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is that they're really there for the emotions that are brought up during the series, at least in our stuff. Again, this is just for what I'm talking about, our community. It's totally different in some other channels and other communities, and that's totally authentic and fine. Just I'm talking about our community. I think really you're providing for me, I am trying to provide an emotional something. And when it's just kind of the routine, like, okay, we're just doing this because I have to, 20 minutes, gotta get this episode done. Okay, am I doing everything? Where's my list of things people wanted me to get done this episode? And you're trying to make it fun for yourself. And normally, under normal circumstances, I would have fun with these things. But imagine if you were trying to, like, do anything. That's like a job where you're not allowed to breathe, if that makes sense. Your boss tells you to get these 7 things done today. And if you want to keep your job, you have to do them. It's really like, do you see where I'm trying to go from there? Having that external pressure put on you, and you're trying to meet it, you're like, take it like this. It's a boss who didn't realize that what they actually wanted from you was thing number 6 only. That's the thing you're good at. That's the thing that really makes you shine. That's the thing that makes your product that you create shine. But your boss had it in their head, oh, I want items 1 through 7. And even though you're good at 6, and when I leave you alone and you do 6, that's what made me hire you, and that's what makes me want to keep you in the first place. In my head, I want 1 through 7. So do 1 through 7. And then you do 1 through 7. And you didn't have enough time. You didn't have the right kind of energy, because it's physically impossible, emotionally impossible to put in the same kind of energy you put into 6 through all 1 through 7. And then your boss turns around and goes, what's wrong with you? I said I wanted 1 through 7 when they really wanted just 6, if that makes sense. And I think that's a lot of what I've had trouble with in our community, is that people think that they want all of these things. They want all of these things from me, when the reason that they're there in the first place is because at some point they came in and just bumped into me having fun, being positive, being kind, being energetic, just jumping into a game and being terrible at it sometimes, jumping into something and just savoring it and looking at the details in my own unique way. And I guess that's kind of what it is I let go of my own unique way of playing, my own unique way of diving into projects, and especially in Boards Crafting, leaving a trail of unfinished projects just trailing behind me in the distance. And I have been sitting here the last few months growing increasingly depressed, not being able to figure out what's wrong with this priceless opportunity that is everything my heart could ever dream of, and what's happening, why is this happening. And so it was really great tonight to listen to Mr. Koot here, the play engineer, and to hear him talk about how really life is about fun and play especially. And again, that's not to say it's all about like escaping responsibilities and being irresponsible. A spirit of playfulness, I think, is an ideal way to live. And that's what I mean. A spirit of playfulness for me is the ideal way to live. And I want to pursue that. So that's kind of, it feels so good. I finally have the answer to the thing that has been weighing on my heart and hurting almost for the last several months. Going, why does it hurt so bad? Why does it hurt so bad? Why do I feel like I'm losing touch with who I am and what I'm doing on my channel, which is everything. Look around. This entire room, the house I am in, the person I am, everything I plan on doing in my future is based around this channel. And so I really think that I'm just going to have to stand up for myself and my future and what I really want, and bring back that spirit of play and just focus on that. I'm not saying I don't want to try to think about what would be like the most popular. There's all sorts of aspects to it, but at the core, somebody shows up on your channel and spends time there because you have something that isn't elsewhere. It may be a game that they can only find your Let's Play for, but most likely it's something that you're giving them. Their voice, if it's the way they tell stories, if it's how quickly they tell stories, if it's the way they look at the updates of a game that you really enjoy, or if it's their personality, something about that. That's why you stay. And I think I've lost the ability to be confident in just having my personality and running with it. And It's really surreal as somebody who chose the online alias of Seriously as my name and Siri to shorten it, because back when I made that, I believed I was a very serious person who had not an ounce of playfulness inside of me, and I was like a hermit living on top of a hill, very serious. And I really was at that time. I'm not trying to make fun of my old self. When I made that name, I made it because I didn't think I had a lot of playfulness inside of me, and I was very, very bland, like dry humor. And now I've learned how to have fun because of being Siri, ironically. And I want that again because I know that's what people are really there for. The people who, well, and again, it's not like it goes deeper than that. I want that again because that's what makes my life feel like I can breathe, where I have joy in every day. And that's a really privileged place to be, to even be able to think about those things. And so sometimes I think, oh, shouldn't you take this all very seriously and be professional and push yourself through these things? Even if you like everybody who's been around for a long time can hear the strain slowly getting deeper and deeper in your voice. Even if like you have to figure out new ways, and even if it's not quite what it used to be and you feel like the weight is getting heavier and heavier on your shoulders, you still should do it because this is a priceless opportunity. How many people in this world have the opportunity to play video games for a living? You need to be grateful. There's that voice in the back of my head all the time too, of understanding the kind of privileged position that I live in to even be able to think about these things and not be where I used to be, not be where so many people still are, working jobs that don't pay enough to even begin to pay the bills. There's always that in the back of my head too, and I think that's one of the many reasons that sometimes I have a habit of driving myself too far. But I think sometimes there comes a point where you're allowed, if you're lucky, if you've worked hard, if you've managed to stumble into very unique opportunities, to tell yourself that you have to stand up for yourself and make the most of the unique shape of your very unique opportunity. And for me, I think that's going to be really doing my best to have a spirit of play again and playing with what I do. And I don't know if that's the thing. I don't know if right before the that's gonna cause right before the silver medal arrives with my 100,000 subscribers. I don't know if that's gonna jump us off a cliff at the last minute just by becoming more playful with everything I do, or if that's going to return. What I really honestly feel is that that's going to return like a fresh air, deep breath, and return to the best of what it is. The best of what this can be. Because in the end, I can't solve everybody's problems. I can't fix their day. I can't be everything they want me to be. But I hope I can at least be somebody who's positive and maybe unintentionally funny and creative and pays attention to ridiculous details just because it's fun and not because it's a gimmick. I've had so many people tell me that they think that I think mushrooms and ferns and plants are so cute because it's my YouTube gimmick. And just... No, guys, look, there's a mushroom right there. You see that? That's a shelf mushroom. It's not a gimmick, I promise. Look, I have little mushroom clay things I've made, and I think that's it. It's just returning to the spirit of play. And that's what I'm going to try to do. So thank you very much to Koot, for your Mr. Play Engineer, for your podcast I haven't even finished. I might tell you guys more about what I think about the rest of that podcast. I'll try linking it in the video description so that you guys can see, if you want to listen to it yourself. I think it's pretty interesting. It's definitely, I will say, probably not the first place I would go, or the last at least. It's not the last place I would go to learn more about the psychology of play, and play as a lifelong habit, and play as what the spirit of a good life really is about. But it might be a good place to go if you just want to start getting some ideas and turning that around. And if you have any links to the psychology of play that have been really interesting for you, then please let me know, because I think that's something very important, and it really is actually related to how I like to educate and how I like to live, I guess. I'm beginning to get to the point where all of a sudden I'm sort of glancing over my shoulder as a 28-year-old person going, I think I just want to live a playful life. Am I allowed to say that as an adult? Is that irresponsible? So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. But thanks for listening to me ramble, you guys, and I'll let you know later how the wild sweet orange tea from Tazao is, because they don't have any celestial seasonings tea at the grocery store today. It smells okay. It's very strong. I don't know. We might have to do a tea tasting day one day. It's more ginger than orange. Not quite what I was going for, but not bad. All right. But yeah. All right. I hope you guys have a playful day. And I'm really, really glad that between vlogging, because rambling helps me figure things out in my own head, and listening to that podcast, I think I have found the key to brushing away the heavy, heavy weights that have been falling on my shoulders the last few months, and figuring out where I really want to be with my life. Again, this is a privileged opportunity, so I don't mean to discredit anybody who can't spend their days focusing on like, how can I make myself happier by being more playful? But I hope that my personal experiences and what I learn about all of this going forward, and hopefully what I can show all of you guys trying to live this kind of playful life, I hope it does something for all of you. So have a playful time somehow, somewhere in your life, and I'm gonna go play to get things done for the main channel again. But instead of that feeling like a big burden on my shoulders and like, oh, I had to keep up with the schedule, this has been the key to help me go, I'm excited about it again. And that's a good thing. So see you guys next time. Bye guys.